How's it going everyone? I'm Zedfiles, and today I am going to be showing you the divine, dreadful, heavenly and demonic creatures from the ARK mod Gaia. First I'll be showing you the divine creatures. So divine creatures have all of their base stats doubled compared to their ARK counterparts, except their oxygen is only 300 and their movement speed is 20% faster. All divine creatures can jump, have double gathering rates, and when they attack they apply a buff called Divine Fire. Divine Fire slows down the enemy for over 5 seconds, and over that time it also drains 5% of the enemy's total health. Divine creatures are immune to having the Divine Fire affected to themselves, so they can't fight each other with it. All of the divine creatures, except for like the Divine Therizino, they are all neutral, but the Therizino is territorial, so if you get too close it'll attack you. All of them are tameable, but when you kill them, they drop a Divine Soul, which is used to craft things in the ARK Gaia mod. So first we have the Divine Diplodocus. So as you can see, the Diplo has 3400 health, and he can actually do damage now, so that's useful. The Diplo can fight things. So next we have the Divine Therizino. It looks nice. I love all the colors on these guys. So here's the Divine Stego, Morellatops, Molerat, Triceratops, Argentavis, a Snow Owl, this was pretty new, Calicotherium, and Divine Dimorphodon. So this one, it's a massive one, as you can see, and I can ride as well. You don't need a saddle for him. So you'll find them in the wild, and they're just a knockout team. They're pretty fast, and they can't pick up anything, but they do a little bit of damage. Yeah, 8 damage. And as you can see, the fire effect, it's blue. The dreadful creatures also apply a fire effect, but that one's red. So as you can see on the Bronto, it's easy to see on him. I should probably kill him now. Actually, I'll just leave him. So next we have the Divine Pteranodon. So I put a saddle on him so that I can ride him, because he can go backwards. So all of these creatures, all of the flies, they can fly backwards, which is so useful. And also they have different saddles to the normal ARK creature saddles, which are also crafted inside the mod. So that's, oh no, okay, so I froze the game, so he's just still trying to attack everyone. And luckily he hit like everything that I have showed, so these guys are still in order. So then there's the Divine Anki, Divine Turtle, the Divine Pegasus. So this guy, he's so cool. He can fly if you double space, so he can fly around and he flaps his wings. He also has a unicorn horn, and that like kind of glows. These guys are a knockout team as well. They can also travel on land pretty fast. Next we have the Divine Moth. This guy doesn't need a saddle either. Well, you can't even put a saddle on him. You can put on a costume though. The Monkey, Divine Bigfoot, Divine Beaver, Divine Doedicurus, the Beelzebuffer. This guy's jump is doubled, so he can jump so high. Oh yeah, I'll show you with the, I guess I'll do the Anki. I'll show you that he can jump as well. So all of the divine creatures, they can jump. So I think all of the creatures that already have a jump, then their jump is times 2 higher. Where's the, oh there it is. Okay, so Anki, I can jump with them. It looks so weird. Especially the Heavenly Mammoth, I'll show you soon. His trunk goes so weird when he jumps. So next we have the Divine Diplocaulus. So these guys, they're like oxygen underwater. You can take oxygen from them when you're swimming. They're probably one of the most useless things in ARK. But they can gather silica pills as well from trilobites. Divine Dillo. So this guy is a passive team, and he's not aggressive or anything, so that's nice. Divine Bulldog, Shinehorn, Otter, Divine Glowtail, and the Featherlight. So these guys also spawn on all maps, or unless you have them like disabled. So next we have the Basilosaurus. So this guy he seems faster than usual. I mean, that's just because Well, it is 20% faster, but it seems more than that, so that's good. You can see some blue under him, where he still makes the oil stuff, and he has better stats. And then here we have the Divine Manta. Next we have the Dreadful Creatures. The Dreadful Creatures have all their base stats doubled, same as the Divine Creatures, and also their oxygen is only 300, the movement speed is plus 20% compared to normal ARK creatures, and they can also jump. The difference between them and the Divine Creatures is that they're red instead of light blue, and also instead of applying Divine Fire, they apply Dreadful Fire. So that's basically the same thing, it's just a different color, and it can be applied to Divine Creatures, but the Dreadful Creatures are immune to the Dreadful Fire. And also when they die, they drop a Dreadful Soul, and they can be tamed. So there's a lot of more Dreadful Creatures than Divine Creatures, and I think they look cooler, because I like red and black. So first we have the Dreadful Giga. So when they're in the wild, they have 80,000 health at level 1, and they have, okay, there we go. But when they're tamed, their stats go down, same as the normal Gigas, and I'm trapped. Next we have the Dreadful Indominus Rex. He basically just acts as a Giga as well. It might be a bit faster. He looks kinda weird when he runs. He takes tiny steps, and he barely moves that much. Actually, the Giga might be faster, I don't know. And they also have same health and everything. So I guess if you want a better looking Giga, you can just tame this one. Next we have the Dreadful Reaper. So this guy, he does spawn on all of the maps, like you don't have to be on Aberration only. So these guys, they don't just spawn in the wild, you have to kill a thing called a Gaia Mosquito, which are another creature in the mod. They're just basically a big light bug, the things in Aberration. Oh, they're charge bugs. I don't know what they're called. But if you kill one of them, then this guy will summon either this guy, the Dreadful Basilisk, or Dreadful Rock Drake. I'll show you them soon. So he has same attacks and everything. I'm in phase only, so that's only stuck there. So yeah, he has same attacks, and this attack, it doesn't apply Dreadful Fire, so you can't like snipe things and just do like 5% of their health each time. So next we have the Dreadful Spino. This guy, you can go in both modes as well. They're basically the same as usual. So as the Dreadful Rex, Dreadful UT, but now the Dreadful Dragon. These guys are so cool. So it's like a mini version of the Dragon boss, and it is so good. They also don't just spawn in the wild, you have to get like these tokens, and those are crafted in the mod. And when you craft them, you just use it and it summons a tamed dragon. So this guy is one of the best creatures, in my opinion, because his fire breath is so good. Next we have the Dreadful Wyvern. He's okay, and he's probably easier to get than that guy. You just need to, I think you might be able to knock him out to tame him, but you can also get Dreadful Wyvern eggs at like the Riven Trench. So next we have the Dreadful Rock Drake. This guy's jump is like a lot more, so that's super useful. Next we have the Dreadful Managama. This one was added pretty recently, since 6.6 just came out. So he basically does the same things as well. It's hard to dash for some reason. Next we have the Dreadful Manticore. So this thing is same as the dragon. It's a mini version of the Manticore boss. Oh yeah, they have different stats to the bosses, obviously. That'd be way too OP. Except these guys spawn in the wild, so you don't like summon them or anything. They're the most annoying thing in the wild. They always get inside your base and destroy everything. They're not that strong, but they're so hard to hit as well. So there's only one sea creature for this one, which is the Dunkleosteus. I don't know how to say that. And he can harvest stone, so as the usual one. And he has like all the extra stats that Dreadful creatures have. And he, just applies the Dreadful Fire. Next we have the Dreadful Aloe. They're pretty easy to tame compared to normal aloes, since they don't travel in packs. They might like join another pack of normal aloes if they find one, but they usually spawn just alone. Next is the Dreadful Basilisk. This also spawns in with when you kill a Gaia mosquito, and you have to feed them rock drake eggs, so it's so hard to tame them. Next you have Dreadful Triceratops. So, oh yeah, all these creatures are aggressive, so including the Triceratops. The Triceratops, the Parasaur, Iguanodon, and the Gallimimus, they're all carnivores now, so they attack you from miles away, like they aggro on you super easily, and they also eat meat. So the Dreadful Trike, pretty much just the same, except he's a carnivore now. The RG, he has yellow feet, and the flies, all the flies in this mod can fly backwards, which is so useful, because if there's like a creature there, you can keep going like that, and then when I do it, most of the times the creature can't even hit me, if you can do it right, if you get the timing right. So next you have the Parasaur. He is so annoying, because he just ruins everything. So like when you're taming something, he'll just run from nowhere and come and ruin your tame. So be careful of these guys. And when I tamed him, I couldn't get him to harvest stuff. He could only eat meat and stuff. Next we have the Iguanodon. These guys are so cool, because with their jump, they jump super far now. It's it says 4 damage is decreased by 75%, so you can jump off a cliff easier. And also they jump forward plus 150%, so they can jump way more better than before, which makes them so scary. I don't think you can do that in the wild. Next you have the Dreadful Gallimimus. He's dangerous because he's so fast and he's a carnivore. He doesn't have that much good stats, since the normal Galley is also weak, especially with his health. Next is the Dreadful Mantis. This guy's just like a mantis, but dreadful. Apparently the Pavillonius Mantis is better, because his weight isn't that good, but the Pavillonius one, which I covered in the last video, I'll link that up in the top right corner. So that one has the Pavillonius Mantis, which is much better than this one for harvesting. So next we have the Dreadful Pteranodon. You can also fly backwards. The Thylacoleo. He looks darker than most of these other creatures, which is cool. It makes it harder to see when he's like on the tree in the redwoods. Next is the Dreadful Daedon. He has 2.5 times compared to normal for his healing, so he's much better for healing stuff. The Dreadful Capra, he's just annoying because he kills you so easily in the wild. Dreadful Wolf, Dreadful Canidae. This is just the Dreadful Ravager as a special name, and it can jump super high. It's 2 times higher than the normal one, I'm pretty sure. So this guy is even better for traveling now. You can probably still like climb up zip lines as well, so it's just basically a bit of Ravager, especially with this jump. It's so cool. And they spawn pretty much everywhere, like not only on Aberration, and they're so scary when you see them, because if you try and bother them, it'll jump over you, but instead of normal Ravagers, it'll go like super high. The next is the Dreadful Raptor, Dreadful Scorpion. This guy looks so cool. Dreadful Spider, Dreadful Seeker. This guy's so cool. So these guys spawn everywhere as well, and you can ride them properly. It looks a bit weird though. Normally when you force tame a Seeker, a normal Seeker, you kind of glitch out and you can't properly ride it. But this one you can actually knock it out and tame it and ride it. Next we have the Dreadful Jerboa. This guy is aggressive as well in the wild, so be careful of them, even though they're so small. How much health does he have? Oh, he doesn't have that much. And then there's Dreadful Macroraptor, which is so annoying as well, and Dreadful Dimorph. These are also annoying. All the little ones are annoying, because this guy is so hard to hit, and he's aggressive, and he never stops chasing you. He killed me so many times. And the Macroraptor, well, he'd be good for PvP, because you can, well, the Dreadful Fire slows you down, so once he takes you off your mount, you'll be slowed down and stunned. Next we have the Heavenly Creatures. Heavenly Creatures have plus 40% movement speed, times 4 health, times 4 damage, they can jump, and they have 4 times harvest, so they're probably one of the best harvesters in the game, besides some of the like super dinos. They are neutral, but some of them are territorial, so if you get too close they'll attack you. And they also have, they're immune to the divine buff, so they can't be, divine creature can't put the fire on it. So first we'll have the heavenly dolphin. This guy just stays here. He doesn't really do much, cause like maybe you can harvest extra fish meat, and he's more tankier. Oh yeah, he has a lot more weight. He has more damage than the normal one. Next we have the heavenly Liopleurodon. So these guys are super useful, because the normal Liopleurodons, they're like impossible to find. Once you find one, you have to feed it honey, and then once you finally tame it, then they only stay with you for 30 minutes. And they give you they make you lucky, that's what the buff says, makes you lucky. But then when you get to loot drops, there's much better loot in them. Now that they don't despawn, the heavenly type, you can get so much good loot. I don't have the effect right now because I froze the game. So this guy, he also has tons of health, like the normal vanilla ones, except he has ×4 because he's heavenly. So next is the Parasaur. This guy, he's really annoying to kill because he has so much health, especially the high level ones. The Mammoth, they're super good at gathering wood, especially with this really good weight now. The heavenly Gacha, this guy can jump super high and he's immune to 4 damage now. He can probably still produce crystals though, so he's basically just, well, easier to take back to your base, I guess. Because normally gachas, once you tame them, it takes so long to take them back to your base, but now they're a bit better at traveling. The Megatherium, they attack humans, so stay away from them. I'm pretty sure they won't attack you if you're like on a mount, any mount. They just hate humans. Next you have the Heavenly Rhino. This is basically just another super strong thing. If you want a really good mount, you should tame one of these, because they're so strong. They did tons of damage, even the vanilla versions, and now they're heavenly, 4 times damage. So we have the Heavenly Styracosaurus. This is basically just a trike, but it looks like that. And Heavenly Griffin, he's pretty good to tame, and he's not too hard to tame. He's basically an easy version of the Dreadful Manticore, if you want to tame one. And they can do so much damage with their dive attack. Heavenly Tapejara, they're so hard to tame, because as soon as they see you in the wild, like even if I'm over here and he sees me, then he will just fly away. And they're super fast. I'll just show you. And they're even faster in the wild, so it's so hard to tame them. Next you have the Heavenly Baryonyx. So these guys can jump a lot better than before, as you can see. So it'll help him get around on land, instead of him just being good in water. And he can still stun creatures and everything. And he has his damage will help so much. You probably don't even need to tame another, like a Megalodon. You can just tame one of these and then you can explore the ocean. So Iguanodon, same as the dreadful one, it can jump a lot better. So cool. This guy's probably better than the dreadful one, because his stats are so much better. Look at that health and the damage. This is just level 1. Next, the kangaroo. I think he has a better jump. I'm pretty sure it is because it's so high. The vanilla one, I don't know, I barely use them in normal ARK, so I don't know if it's better than the normal kangaroos. Next we have the Kentrosaurus. These things, well, they're good for PvP. If the enemy has a Giga, this thing would destroy it. Except, other than that, they're so bad. I guess you could ride them somehow. They could put like a box saddle or something. Because if you could sit on these and ride on them, they'd be so strong. Because they do pretty good damage and they have a lot of health. Next, the Heavenly Divebear. He's basically just a good divebear. Pretty sure all these creatures can jump as well. Oh no, they can't. Can they? I don't know. Well, the dreadful creatures can. I don't know if these ones can. The Heavenly Otter. So this is a huge otter. It's a knockout team as well. Oh wait, no. It's a passive team? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's both, because I tamed it by passive tame. So they can jump super high, and they can swim, and they don't get the silica pill things from the fish. They're just a seamount. But it's so hard to like go down and up. I don't really like them because they're so hard to use in the water. Oh no, spoilers! So next we have the Megalania. This guy, he's not aggressive anymore because he's heavenly, so that's a lot more safe. Next we have the Heavenly Horse. This thing is so weird because its back is like that, so ugly. And the Divine Pegasus is a lot better because it can fly. Oh, but the Pegasus can't have a saddle, and if you didn't know, you can have like lassos, and you can, it's like a mortar and pestle, the horse saddle. I have any mosh chops. This guy's so weird. When you ride him, you go invisible. You can also jump super high. He also doesn't run away anymore when a creature attacks you, because the normal ARK ones, if something attacks it and it's not being ridden, then he'll just run away and never come back. So this way you can use him to fight stuff. Heavenly Lystrosaurus. This guy does 4 times XP. I think the normal ones were times 2 XP. And the Heavenly Vulture, he is like a fridge, and he can also have unlimited amount of artifacts. So if you put like food in his inventory, it will take 10 times longer to spoil, and it doesn't require like anything special. We'll just do it, and you can pick them up, same as the normal ones. Lastly, we have the demonic creatures. So these are the same as heavenly creatures, with like the four times health and all that, except they, instead of being immune to divine fire, they're immune to dreadful fire. So you would use these to attack the dreadful creatures, those you'd use to attack the divine creatures. So first we have the Golem. This guy, he just has like the times 4 stats, so he's a super strong stone golem, and they're also a lot easier to tame because you can use stones. Like the stones work just as well as sulfur. It has red teeth. All of these creatures have, I mean, they are green. The Carno, he's basically just a super strong Carno, and he doesn't really look like a different type because Carnos can be green all of the time. Here we have, one of these is a aberration version. Don't know which one because they look the exact same, but that one, it'll have like the aberration Megalosaurus stats and then times 4. So next is the Velonosaur. This is also a new one, so this would be super useful because he does 4 times damage. You can do like 400 damage with each bullet. Next we have the Sarko. So next we have the Lizard. For some reason it's called Blunderous. This guy, his darts now do more torpor, so I'll actually try and knock something out if I can find something. So this will, it should be, oh, that's a Velonosaur, so one that's over there. I'll just leave that guy. They are aggressive, so hopefully he doesn't recognize me. Oh, okay, good. I'll try and get this for you. So this guy, he should be good for taming creatures now, because they do more torpor. Oh, he can jump as well. I can probably do that in normal ARK as well. I just don't play with him. Okay. I don't know how much torpor this is doing now. It's probably not that good for Gaia though, because Gaia's like so hard to knock out creatures. Sometimes it takes like, it would take like 10,000 normal trank darts. Oh no, there's a shark attacking. No one cares. Well, that's good, or else they'd get out of order. Okay, so I guess I'll just show this guy, the demonic shark. So he's a super strong shark. He's probably one of the best seamounts in the game because he has transport stats and all that. The Moses are probably better still. Okay, I left him here, go. Is he swimming? Oh, there he is. Can I hit him from here? No. How close is he from? No, doubt. Oh, he's nowhere near. Well, it still does a little bit, so it's not really that good. If you manage to like trap them, you don't want to waste trank darts on them, and you can try and use this guy. It'll take forever though. Okay, so next we'll get the what do we have next? Oh, the Arthropleura. This guy, he looks exactly the same as usual, except there's just a lot more green than usual as well. And they think their venom might be special. Let's see. This guy went fight back. Oh, okay, only 52 damage. I missed. I just had a crosshair. Because these are just like 5 times 4 stats, same as all these other ones. The Terrorbird, Sabertooth, the Titanoboa, and then the Troodon, which is so annoying. Like, Troodons are annoying as normal Troodons, and now there's demonic Troodons with times 4 health and times 4 damage. They like kill you instantly. So yeah, this is all the creatures. The Divine, Dreadful, what is that? Oh, it's a Divine one. It looks so weird. Looks like the thermal vision thing with a snow owl. So this was the Divine, Dreadful, Heavenly and Demonic creatures. So if you guys know this video and want to see more ARK Gaia, make sure to subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.